Hey everyone, how's it going? My name's Cloud, and welcome to my personal VOD reviews of Locals. In this episode, we'll be taking a look at Game 2 of Week 3 of the OP11 Meta, where I played Green Yellow Yamato versus Blue Purple Luffy. Here's the deck list that I played in this match, and if you haven't already done so, please go check out the Locals retro video I made that covers this deck list and my overall thoughts on how Locals went this week. Without further ado, let's hop into the game. Game number 2 for Week 3 of the OP11 Meta, I'm playing Green Yellow Yamato versus Blue Purple Luffy. This was the one leader I was not looking forward to playing against this week. And the reason is because this local happened right after the Las Vegas Regionals. And if you watch that, you should know that the winner for the Las Vegas Regionals was a Blue Purple Luffy player who was playing a very spicy version of the deck list. They were running the Purple Don Quixote Pirates package, specifically the 8-cost Doflamingo and the 5-cost Rosinante. I mean, I'll be honest, watching him play it, the deck looked really fun and it made me want to try the deck list compared to the current Blue Purple Luffy deck list, but from the opponent's perspective, oh man, this deck just looked broken. It felt like the Blue Purple Luffy player was never out of it, even though there are like 3 cards in hand and 0 life. As long as they had those 2 characters on board, they were fine and they pulled out the win. So really scared to be playing this matchup right now. I did confirm with my opponent that they are playing a variant of that list, so we'll see how it goes. Finish shuffling here. And onto the dice roll. My opponent is going to roll a 7, and I'm going to roll a 9, so I get to pick. And it looks like I choose to go first. Okay, before I set up my hand, I do want to talk about this a little bit because looking back at it now, I do remember that I think this was a wrong choice after finishing this match. But let's start with the reasons why I chose to go first. It's because I am playing a trigger aggro variant of Yamato this time around. So in my mind, going first is really important because I want to be able to attack at my opponent's life first, getting them down to 3 or less life. Less than 3. So it should be that. Yeah, less than 3 life in order to get my leader ability online and any triggers that might be in my life set up, right? A lot of the Wano trigger bodies, it can only be played if my opponent is at 3 or less life, so being able to get them down low enough means that I can trigger them out. However, I realize now that my opponent is already a 3 life leader. So going first isn't the greatest because on the first turn that I can attack, which is when I'm at 3 Dawn, I can at most only swing an 8k at them. And with Blue Purple Luffy being a 6k leader, all it takes is maybe one gear 2 or a 2k and a 1k to get out of this 8k swing, since they are a 6k base. So it means my attack is less effective. If I had chosen to go second here, yes, I do give my opponent the opportunity to get their perfect kind of ramp curve, going 1, then 3 Dawn into maybe a Zoro or Gear 2 to ramp to 4. I will be at 4 Dawn on the turn that I can attack, which means I can go for a 9k swing. And 9k swing early on is a little rough for a Blue Purple Luffy to deal with because Gear 2 can only go +3, so that's going to be 9k even. They would have to give up maybe a, I don't know, 2 2ks out of their hand to get out of this to go up to 10. And they can't really be playing Gum Gum Giant early because that means they'll be minusing Dawn. So a 9k swing here would have been much more effective. And I think because of that, my decision to go first, it's going to affect the rest of the outcome of this game. So, yep, just wanted to talk about that first because it is something I clearly remembered. I think going second would have been a better choice. Well, let's take a look at our initial hand here. Yikes. All right, we've got 2 Hody Jones, 1 Momonosuke, 2 cost Onami, and 2 cost Hiyori. Let's do a counter check. We've got a 1k, 1k, and a 2k. So 4k counter on the lower side, but at least we got at least one 2k to deal with their base 6k attack. And, you know, the 1ks can come in handy if we need to go any higher. We do have at least one searcher, but because I'm not going first, this Momonosuke searcher isn't the greatest since I'll start out with one Dawn. I can establish it and then use it to search on my second turn, but kind of like my first game, I would much prefer the 1-cost Yamato at this moment because I can play it immediately and search immediately. So nice that we have a searcher, but it's not the preferred searcher. The Onami here is very nice because it can give my leader banish, and against a 3-life leader, I will be trying to pressure them as early as possible, so having the banish in hand just means that I can either force them to trash 2 cards or give me cards from hand. I am not too happy to see 2 Hody Jones right now. Seeing 1 is nice, but seeing 2 just means I've got bricks in my hand and I can't even play it until I get to my 7 Dawn turn. So it's gonna be kind of rough just having that in hand. But alright, I think this would be a hand I mulligan. Again, searching for the 1-cost Yamato to me would be better. So let's see what we choose to do here. Looks like my opponent decided to keep their opening hand. And yes, I do decide to mulligan. So let's just go ahead and put this on ×2. Get through that. I think I'm really looking for 1-cost Yamato, 2-cost Hiyori, the 2k counter one, and maybe some banish options, whether it's the Izo or the Onami. But I'm really hoping for just some trigger bodies in life. Okay. Set up life, set up hand, fist bump to start the game, and here we go. And rip. Looking at my hand, we have 2 Hody Jones again, 1 6-cost Momonosuke, 1 2-cost Onami, and the 4-cost Kinemon from Starter Deck 28. Let's do our counter check. We only have a 1k and a 2k in hand. So my hand got significantly worse. Only 3k counter in hand, very low. I mean, I am glad that I have at least one 2k, but if my opponent decides to attach Dawn, I'm going to be burning all of my counter very early. Which means that I know that I will be taking some life early on. Not what I want to see. So very sad there. And the only early play I have is Onami. No searchers in hand, that kind of sucks. And instead I have 3 bricks. I'm going first, which means it's going to be kind of awkward to be playing my Momonosuke, to be honest. The only time I can play him is when I'm at 7 Dawn, and I have to choose between Hody Jones and the Momonosuke. So kind of rough there. Well, we're gonna have to deal with it. So I am going first, so I will go 1 Dawn and just pass to my opponent. They draw 1 card, going up to 6 cards in hand. Dawn face, they get 2 Dawn, and they pass back to me. Draw 1 card. It is a 5-cost Momonosuke. Okay, so real quick, already in my hand, I have 4 bricks. What in the world? This is not going well for me so far. Fortunately, I know what my first, attack turn phase is going to be. It's just going to be an 8k double attack to lead, which they had gear 2 for. So this is what I was talking about earlier. They could easily counter out of this. If I had gone second, I could have done a 9k swing. That would have forced at least 2 cards from hand, or at least 2 life. So really missed opportunity there. I guess I could have, sorry. Before I go over to my opponent's turn here, I could have played the Onami and gone 6k, but as you can see, they did have just the 1k counter in hand. It would have been really easy for them to get out of it. Alright, pass back to my opponent. They draw a card. They went up to 4 Dawn, and then they tapped 4 to play the Bone Clay to ramp 1 card. And then they go 7k at my leader, which I decide to take. Pass back to me. I'm at 5 Dawn. I will go ahead and use 2 Dawn to play out the Izo, and I go 8k double attack banish. They don't have any Dawn up, which is good. Oh, but they have 0 cost event. Yikes. So that gives them +3, going up to 9k, so they get out of the double attack banish. Unfortunate. That's crazy. Okay, well, at least because my opponent is at 3 or less life, I'll go ahead and attach 2 Dawn and make my Easel a blocker. Passing back to my opponent, they draw a card for turn, they go up to 6 Dawn. Already I've lost track of how many cards they've had in hand, but let's see if I can figure it out right now. Draw 1 card, that was 6. Then they pitched 1 card for gear 2, so they went down to 5. And they drew another card, went up to 6. They played 1 card, go down to 5. And then they use 0 cost event, minusing 2 cards from hand, so they should be at 3 cards in hand? That doesn't sound right. Maybe they are only at 3 cards in hand. Oh, they have 4 cards in hand. I missed something somewhere. Hold up. I'm trying to get better at, keeping track of my opponent's hand size here. So, start at 5. Turn 1, they went up to 6. Then back to me. I attacked them. They burned 1 card, so they're at 5 again. And they went up to 6 for card draw turn. And then they played out the Bone Clay, so they should have been down to 5 cards. And then I attacked them for double attack banish, which gave them 0 cost and Zoro. So they should have been at 3. Oh, but then they draw for turn, so they're at 4. Okay, so it does make sense. They were at 4. Yes. Okay, sorry about that. Pass back to my opponent. They are at 6 Dawn, and they're at 7 Dawn because they ran up to 1 with the Bone Clay. And they play out the 5 cost Rosinante, which is actually a good time for me to talk about this card. 5 cost Rosinante is a 5 cost character with 6k power. Let's start that over. Rosinante is a 5 cost 6k power special character with 1k counter that says, on play, you may trash 1 event from your hand, draw 2 cards. End of your turn, if you have 7 or more Dawn cards on your field, set up to 2 of your Dawn cards as active. This is a really key card for this game plan because that last portion, if you have 7 or more Dawn cards set up to 2 as active, it means that they can use all of their Dawn knowing that they can restand 2, meaning they'll always have a Dawn up for their events. This sucks for me. A lot of the other purple or blue-purple Luffys have to kind of use less Dawn in order to keep them up for Giants and Gear 2, but now he can just freely use all 7. And I do believe he trashed an event. I think it was he trashed the Giant to draw 2. Interesting. Okay. But yeah, now he's got that on board. 2 Dawn active. See what he does here with those 2 Dawn. He's gonna go a big 8k at my leader. I could counter out. I don't want to. I don't have 2 2ks. I could block. Yeah, I think blocking here was good. Keeping my life high. I do have Hoodoo Jones in hand, so if I can keep my life total high, then maybe I can, play Hoodoo Jones without feeling too bad about it. Go to my turn, I drew an Onami. I'm at 7 Dawn now. So this could be a Hoodoo Jones play. Hoodoo Jones actually doesn't feel too bad because I could rest the 2 Dawn. But I would have to take a life. And with how many cards they have in hand, maybe it is the move. Because I do have 2 Hoodoo Jones. Oh, but that's right, I have Banish. So let's do the Banish play. We're gonna go ahead and tap 2, play out Onami, giving my leader Banish. And now I'm trying to determine how much I want to swing at them. They only have 3, or they're at 7 Dawn. I think they're at 3 cards in hand, 4 cards in hand, 3 cards in hand. I think right now I'm trying to determine whether or not I want to just swing low and play out the Momo blocker. But I think I just got to go all in here since I already did the Banish. Yeah, we're going to go a big, what is that, 5? 10k double attack Banish at my opponent. That's 10 to 6. they're gonna take it, trashing a Doflamingo and another Doflamingo. It's great news for me. They're now at 1, putting me slightly closer to winning. Passing back to my opponent, they're gonna be at 9 Dawn now. I think they've got 4 cards in hand, maybe 5. Can't really count. Hard to see. Start off with a 6k at my life. I can give the 2k to get out of this. I know that they have 9 Dawn left. They have the Rosinante that can attack. Ooh, but I guess I'm hoping for some triggers because I take the life. Unfortunately, did not get a trigger and got a 3rd Hody Jones. That's not helping at all. My opponent now goes 7k. 1 Dawn attached to the Rosinante. And I'm taking it. No trigger. Oof. And then they tap 8 Dawn to play out the Doflamingo, 8 cost Doflamingo. So let's take a look at this card. This Doflamingo is the second part of the package. It is an 8 cost, 9k power special character with no counter that says on play, Dawn -1, play up to 1 Don Quixote Pirates type character with a cost of 5 or less. Then, on your opponent's attack, once per turn, you may rest one of your Dawn cards, add up to 1 Dawn card from your deck as, or sorry, 1 Dawn card from your Dawn deck as active. So, really good. In total, he can get 3 Dawn back between the Rosinante and the Doflamingo. So, he's feeling safe using all of his Dawn. That's why I kind of like this deck list. It feels really cool being able to use all your Dawn and then be able to restand it. I think it's a really good combo for blue-purple Luffy. And, alright. Right when I draw, let's see, it's a Nekomamushi. I go up to 9 Dawn. Let me explain something really quick. So, you saw me take the 2 life. I definitely could have countered out of the first swing and maybe out of the second swing. So you might be wondering, why did you take those attacks? I think at this point, because of how many bricks in my hand, I had a feeling that I wasn't going to be able to survive that long after this turn. And in my mind, it's like, if I can just go ahead and go down close to 0 life, I can maybe try to end the game, since they only got 1 life. If I play 7 Dawn for Hody Jones, I rest those 2 Dawn. Not do that one, but I rest these 2, and then I can try to just go maybe 7k, 10k with my leader and my Hody Jones, since I will be at 9 Dawn. Attaching 2 Dawn to leader makes it a 7k. Attaching using leader ability to attach 2 rested Dawn to Hody Jones makes it a 10k. Can maybe try to go for game there. I know that he can actually, yeah, he wouldn't be able to restand it. I misspoke earlier. He can't get 3 Dawn back. He can only get 2, since you have to minus a Dawn on Doflamingo. So if I had rested these 2 Dawn, it puts him in a very tough situation, having to defend a 7k and a 10k, right? So I think that was my game plan. Looking at my hand here, you can see that I only have, let's see, 1k, 2k, 2k, 1k, and 3k. So I actually did have a decent amount of counter in hand. What is that? That's 1, 5, 6, 9k counter total. But is that enough to save me from, you know, his Rosinante, Doflamingo, leader, and even bone play? So I could have maybe tried to clear board. Yeah, I don't know. I'm kind of, you know, going ahead of myself here. But just wanted to mention that that's why I was taking the hits. If I were to play this again, maybe that was not the move. I should try to just save my life as much as possible. So, and that's right. The only reason why I have these counters is because I took life. So, I think we're just going with that game plan I just told you. Gonna rest the 2 Dawns, tapping 7 Dawn to play Hody Jones. I did get Gum Gum Elephant Giant as my, or Gum Gum Elephant Gatling as my last card from life. But I'm just trying to go for game here, really. 7k with leader. And if they counter out of this, then I am just in massive trouble, really. They have no Dawn, so I know Gear 2 and Gum Gum Giant can't really happen. Actually, they can get 1 Dawn back if they minus a rested Dawn, so they can get 3 Dawn. I am right. But they give me a 2k. They are a 6k base, so they get out of that no problem. And now I'm like, shoot. Taking those hits was not the move. So lesson learned, maybe trying to defend those hits would have been better for me. At this point, I kind of have a feeling I have like no hope left because I am at 0 life. Looking pretty grim. I just go ahead and just use leader ability for fun, and we just go 10 to the Rosinante. I have no more attacks, he just lets it go, and I pass back to my opponent. Using Luffy's leader ability to look at the top 5. Let's see what he picks. I do have 10 cards in hand, maybe that's enough to scare him. He takes 9 cost Sanji, alright. Leaves it on top, draws for turn. And my opponent's now at 10 Dawn. Honestly, they can just attach all 10 Dawn on Rosinante and just go for a big 19k, knowing that they still have Bone Clay and Luffy. Can just do 6 with leader, 8 with Bone Clay because he can copy Hody Jones. So yeah, 6k first. I have to give it 2k here to get out of it, which I do. And then go 9k, alright. 9k, I have to give up 0 cost event to go +3, and then a 2k to go to 10. So plus 5k counter, get out of that. Only 6 cards left in hand, and at this point he can just go for game. He decides to just go 8 to 8 here. Oh, he goes 8 to life. Copying the, yeah, so he goes 8 to life, copying Hody Jones, and I say I don't have enough counter, and he was like, oh, what am I doing? He thought my indicator here was a life. So yeah, he could have just attached all the Dawn and gone for game. It was funny, we both had a good laugh about that. He thought I had a life here, but yep. My opponent took it, and I take the loss. It's unfortunate. I think, rushed through this game a little too fast. Looking back at my plays, I think the first thing that could have possibly changed is on my 7 Dawn turn. Instead of going for the early banish swing, I could have played out the Hody Jones since I was at 3 life. So playing that means I would go down to 2, -1 here, but I'd establish a 7k body. I can rest maybe, I forget if he had Dawn up, but really rest the Rosinante. That's the main goal, and try to just kill that so he can't continuously reuse Dawn. That could have been a move, establishing the body. He would have to have maybe a red rock or attach Dawn to attack into the Hody Jones, which I might have defended. If I can defend a Hody Jones, then he's going to have to deal with an 8k body. And then the following turn, I could have played another Hody Jones, taking another life, and I'd have 2 8k bodies with one with Rush. So that could have been one play I did better. The second thing I could have done better is maybe just go ahead and defend the 3 life I had. I went down to 0 way too quickly. I had the counter, could have defended out of the Luffy swing. I had 0 cost event, so maybe I should have just pitched one of my bricks in order to counter out of the, I think it was 7, 9, something like that with the Rosinante. So yeah, I think I was just too optimistic thinking I could win with the 7k and 10k swing from my leader and Hody Jones on 9 Dawn. So, lessons learned. But if you think I should have done anything else, let me know in the comments below. GG's to my opponent, and I will see you in game number 3. Until next time, remember, keep your minds fresh and your spirits free. See ya!